Hey guys, this is Matt Kids on One, and today I'm just going to be giving my unbiased opinion on Mac OS X versus Windows Vista. So I'm going to be comparing the two operating systems, and right now to make this video I'm using Linux, which is a third party. It's totally different than either one of the operating systems. And I actually use, even though I'm in Mac Kids on One, I use Windows a lot, and I'd like to program for Windows as well as Mac. It's just that I'm on my Mac more. But, so basically, I've gathered a bunch of facts, and I'm just going to be comparing Windows Vista to the Mac operating system. So, first of all, the negative feedback towards Windows Vista, as in, like, reports of it being bad, or anything, I find is because people have been treating it badly and they've been doing stuff that maybe they shouldn't be doing on Windows Vista. Or they've been trying stuff that shouldn't be done. Driver issues are noticeable. Like my camera and my VIA, I think it's pronounced VIA or VAI. My webcam built into my VIA didn't actually work on Windows Vista, and I had to find a driver. But the driver issues normally can be overcome. So that situation's a little better than Linux. Some security features are flawed and just don't make sense at all. For instance, any admin can change anyone else's password without the old password. That makes sense, but including its own. So if you're an admin and you open a batch file that someone made, they can change your password and then you can't change it back. Another nice feature though is that new users are by default non-admin, so that just makes it better. But sometimes it gets in the way. For instance, if you want to install something, you can't do anything about it because you're not currently running as an admin, and that's annoying. I'm sure sometimes this is good, but for me it's not always good. Sometimes Windows crashes due to its own lack of driver support, and this is the main source of frustration in my opinion. I've seen other people get mad about this, so I just wouldn't worry about that. The new Office package, and it's not actually new anymore, I'm talking about Office 07, it didn't meet my expectations. Some tools have been removed, and it has an interface that seems to be a major source of frustration now. What I mean is, on the menu bar, things have been moved around or replaced with some graphic or picture that you're not used to in the old Office. And I recently upgraded to Office 07 on my Windows computer. So the Windows is a great development platform. I know, like, everyone I know knows, or everyone who uses a PC that I know knows how to write some kind of program in Windows, because in Windows there's so many different programming languages, and they have .NET, and .NET's cool because it's so easy. Like, I made an operating system emulator in .NET, so .NET, Windows is better for programming, I have to say that. And it's really compatible, and it has a larger market size. So those are its strengths. And the Mac operating system runs on a Unix kernel, which I actually love since I'm a Unix person, and this makes it smooth and yeah. Of course, it's not really compatible to Mac. Like, a lot of apps people write for Windows won't run on the Mac, and if someone writes a program for Leopard, it sometimes doesn't run on Tiger. Too bad. And it has a small market share, and yeah. And the system only runs on Mac hardware. You can't get a PC at Walmart and install Mac OS X on it. You can install other operating systems that someone's made in their spare time. You can install Windows and you can install Linux, but you can't install the Mac operating system. The Mac operating system really only comes with Mac hardware unless you do something to break the rules of Apple. and I don't specifically try to do that. So, in the Mac equipment is overly priced compared to everything else. Like you can buy a PC that's as good as a Mac Pro that would be $5,000 for $2,500. It's just unbelievable how much more powerful you can get for the same amount of money in PC land. So the Mac hardware isn't that good. It's unconventional in many ways. Like it doesn't do things the way other things would do them. And it's stable, but some things are dishonest. Like Finder, for instance. If you go to slash with the go-to feature, it will show you a list of all your drives. That's not true. Finder doesn't show you half of the files that exist in slash. I don't agree with this at all, and I think that the Mac is just tries to trick you into being like it's training wheels. And in my opinion, you have to take the training wheels off sometime or another if you're a geek. But the Mac, it's basically more user friendly. So you can have an 80-year-old lady working in an office on a PC because she's been using it all her life. But say she has to use a Mac. She'd be able to use the Mac pretty fast. Of course, if she has bad eyes or something, it's pretty high res, but you can lower the resolution. Like the Mac, in my opinion, is simpler to use. Of course, the dock, drag and drop, isn't drag and drop unless, of course, you hold command while dragging something off the dock, but what are the odds people are going to know that, right? So the Mac is a little tricky, but it's plenty user friendly. Like, yeah, it's easier than Windows in a lot of ways. But if you're used to Windows, it would be better to use Windows. I don't recommend trying to switch to Mac. Now, comparing all this to Linux, where do I even start? Linux is free. It runs on a lot of hardware. It can be installed in practically any platform. And there's so many different types of Linux. Why not use Linux? I mean, it's not user-friendly. That's the only reason. But the GUIs that you can use, like GDM or KDE, pretty user-friendly. I mean, there's drag and drop, there's double-click. So, Linux, if you're a geek or you're just cheap, or you're a small business and you don't want to have to pay for Windows or something, you can always get Linux and figure it out. Linux is kind of driver incompatible. Like, there's not necessarily going to be a driver for everything. But I've made it work with all my printers. I've made it work with my keyboard. It works with my mouse. It works with my Wacom tablet. It works with pretty much all the hardware I have. And I have a new monitor, new keyboard, new mouse, new processor, new RAM, new disk. Yeah. But it's not a Mac and it's not a PC. It's different. So, if you use a PC, you should stick to a PC unless you really have a reason to get a Mac. If you use a Mac, stick to a Mac unless you have a reason to go to PC. And normally people want to go to a PC so they can run games and stuff. And that's a good reason. I mean, people don't write games for the Mac that you like. Just use the PC version. And then, of course, some people will just get Windows just so they can have it. And so, whatever reason you want, use whatever you want and take your own decision. And if you disagree with this or agree with this, comment, rate, subscribe, whatever. So thank you for watching Mac Heads 101. Subscribe and goodbye.